If you want the best custom tactics for 5 of the top formations on FIFA 23, this is the video for you. This is just one of many videos on my channel that are designed to help you become better at FIFA. So if you want to win more games, hit that subscribe button right now and I promise I will help you get better at FIFA 23. If we could hit 300 likes, that would be insane. If you're watching and it does have less, do me a quick favour, hit that sub button. But for now, let's get into it. Okay, so no messing around, we're going to jump straight into the video and starting off with one of the most popular formations on the game. It is going to be the 4-4-2. So, this is what I recommend with it. The 4-4-2 is quite a balanced formation that sort of favours attacking a little bit more than it does defending. I find that it's a lot more easy to create than like a 4-2-3-1, for example. And you get a lot of options, a lot of natural whip. You've got the 2 strikers, which is nice. So these are the tactics that I recommend for it. You can play quite a high depth. If you want the auto offside traps, you can go to 72 depth as well, and that does work very effectively. But if you don't want those, you can stay on the 65. In terms of the instructions, you're going to want get in behind on both of these strikers. Make sure that you put the fullbacks on stay back. You're going to have enough attacking support out wide with the left mid and right mid. So you don't need to worry about that. I'd recommend having those on cut inside and also getting behind on both of them as well. And then with the centre mid, you can leave them on balance. The cover wing is actually useful because when the wingers go forward, you're going to find that the centre mids cover those spaces when needed. So that is what I recommend for the 4-4-2. It is one of the best formations in the game for sure, and you can't really go wrong with it, to be honest with you. Next up is arguably the most popular formation in FIFA, and it's made a real resurgence recently. It is the 4-2-3-1, the most balanced all-round formation probably in FIFA history. Good attack, very solid defensively. It does favour a little bit more of a defensive style, but don't get it twisted. You can definitely attack in this formation as well. As you can see, I like to play quite a high depth. This is my go-to formation that I'm using at pro versus pro level, elite division rivals and foot champions. So 72 on the depth, 65 on the width. We have the direct passing to push our opponent's back line deep into their half and make it easier to create chances. We also have 7 players in the box, which means that sometimes the CDMs are going to get involved as well, which I do find to be very useful. I would recommend just having pacey, quick players out wide, a 5-star weak foot cam, and then a striker who's quick, strong, but also good at dribbling and ideally is able to finish on either foot as well. In terms of the CDMs, I really don't feel like this year you need an out-and-out CDM, you know, like a Vieira. It is useful, like you can have one, but I like having just 2 box-to-box centre mids playing as CDMs, and I find that that works the best. So, stay central, getting behind on the striker, come back on defence on the cam, and then I have basic defence support on the wide cams and also get into the box for cross on those. And then for the CDMs, I just have both of them on cut passing lanes and then the default for everything else. You're going to want to make sure that you do have stay back while attacking on the fullbacks. That's important. You don't need them going forward in this formation. You've already got 3 cams, a striker and CDMs that get involved, so you don't need to worry about that. I do also like to have step up. It's a weird one because it's more of a defensive formation. You do give up some space and possession in your own half, and I find that if they play a ball into their striker's feet, having the step up on your defenders just helps getting a little bit tighter and giving them less room. So that is the 4-2-3-1, the most popular formation and one that I recommend for any FIFA player at any level. So next up is the 4-1-2-1-2 narrow, and some people just love this formation. I'm not the biggest fan, I must admit, but it definitely this year does have some very overpowered elements to it. So as you can see, it'll be a common theme with me. I like playing the 72 depth for the auto offside traps. I also would recommend press after possession loss on this setup. It's very attacking, your fullbacks get involved, you put a lot of players forward, and the press after possession loss just seems to work. This is the sort of setup that I'd recommend when you're a goal down, struggling to create, and just want to get back into the game. So direct passing, I put the width up a lot in this formation because it's so narrow that it is useful to just spread the team out a little bit. Just makes it a bit easier to keep the ball and create. If you have all of your players just too narrow in the middle of the pitch, it's impossible to do anything. So 70 on the width, 7 players in the box again. And in terms of the setup, your fullbacks are super important in this formation. They need to be quick, they need to be good on the ball, and also able to defend. So you can see my fullbacks, Hakimi and Davis. They're the sort of perfect duo that you want in either position, and you can try and base whoever you put into your setup off of those 2 players. In terms of the instructions, get in behind on both the strikers, come back on defence on the cam, and the reason that is so important is because when you do that, you defend in more of like a 4-4-2. It spreads the team out when the cam comes back, and without that, this formation is like defensively poor. So make sure you put the comeback on defence on the cam. For the centre mid, you're not going to change anything, and then for the CDM, you want stay back while attacking, cover centre. The most important thing is to put overlap on your fullbacks. If you want to go super attacking, you can put join attack. I wouldn't really recommend it. You'll have just 2 centre-backs a lot of the time without fullbacks when you're defending. But balanced attack and overlap is super important. In this formation, stay back while attacking on the fullbacks is not really an option. You lack a serious amount of width if you do that, and you just lose a lot of attacking power that this formation provides. But this setup is insane for attacking once you get used to it and get the fullbacks involved. So that is the 4-1-2-1-2 narrow. So next up is the 4-3-3 fifth variation. I actually did a separate video on this, so if you want to see a more in-depth tutorial on it and how it actually works in game, you can go back on my channel and find that. But this setup is the best I've used in terms of all-out attacking on the game. Not literally an all-out like constant press, but just a general super attacking formation. This is insane, and the instructions are important as well. So press after possession loss, you guys can see all that, we don't need to go into it again. The only major difference is forward runs instead of the direct passing, and the reason for that is your centre mids in this setup are going to be making like runs in behind. It is crazy overpowered. If you go back and watch the video I spoke about, you'll see just how ridiculous this is going forward. So in terms of the setup, you can play players like Neymar at centre mid because they're going to be making runs in behind. It is so attacking, this setup. But the way we do it is we're always going to have a back 4 and a CDM. So it is literally a case of you've got 5 attackers and 5 defenders. It really does play out like that. So in terms of the wingers, you're going to want stay forward, cut inside, get in behind, and get into the box for cross. You're going to want stay central and get in behind on the centre forward. Stay back, cut passing lanes, cover centre on the CDM. And then get forward and get into the box for the centre mids. Then for the fullbacks, you want them to stay back. So like I say, it's literally a back 5 and then a front 5. And the options you get in this formation, I've never seen anything like it. You'll just have to try it for yourself. This is the 4-3-3 fifth variation, and it is ridiculous at attacking. So this is the 4-2-4, and in my opinion, this is the best for your constant pressure all-out attack setup, because you literally have 4 forward players and then 2 centre mids, which will support as well. So constant pressure, 100 depth, as you can see. It's just, you know, for when you're a couple of goals down or you just need that goal in the last few minutes, that is when you'd switch to this. Just quick players you want up front, good solid players in midfield, and then a flat back 4 who just follow the meta of the game. We all know that. So stay forward, cut inside, get in behind. You're essentially just always going to have 4 players running in behind, unlimited options. Your opponent is just going to really struggle to mark everything. It just isn't possible. The one downside, obviously, with using an all-out press is you're going to be leaving spaces in behind. So you're not going to want to use this unless you really need a goal late on. Get forward on both the centre mids as well, and then join the attack and overlap on the fullbacks. Ridiculous. You're going to create chances, but probably concede goals as well. So I hope this helps you guys out. I really do think you will get more wins with these tactics, and I'm here to help you get better at the game. So if you enjoyed the video, it means the world to me if you leave a like. It helps more than you could imagine. And please do stay up to date, subscribe. I'd love to have some more of you around. Maybe one day we can hit 100k subscribers as well. But thank you so much for watching. I'll catch you on the next video, and peace.